Like, so with Kody, it's like, I'm angry at the way things happened, but I can control how I react and how I reciprocate. Like, so with Kody, it's like, so with Kody, it's like,
Woo! With Kody. Not dad, not my father, Kody. So, hello, people. Welcome to another IQ Live. It's going to be a good one tonight. It's all about Madison. I mean, we knew that things were strained, but the fact that she basically said, you know what, dude, I don't consider you my dad. I'm going to call you Kody was another bombshell that was dropped in Sunday night's episode. And we're going over it today. So thank you. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for if you're watching on the replay. Hello to all my live chatters. I see you. Welcome. Oh my gosh, Sarah said 40 likes we're at right now. If you haven't liked the video, please do so. I would appreciate it. Thank you. So here's my question, guys. Here is my question, because that was a zinger. It really was. When a parent earns first name status, what does that really mean? That's what we're uncovering today, because let's be honest. If ever your adult child starts calling you by your first name instead of dad, that's not just a vibe shift, okay? That is a family group chat leaving the chat. That is an emotional version of getting unfollowed and getting blocked in real life. That's exactly what that is. And for Maddie to say that on national television, yeah, with Kody, that speaks volumes. So that's what we're unpacking today. That's why we're unpacking it. It's not Madison, I don't think, being petty. I think that what she did, I think that it's powerful. I think that she's being protective. And quite frankly, I think it's well deserved, in my honest opinion. So I found it interesting. We're going to go over, because we're kind of doing a history lesson on Madison just to get to the point where we knew it was strained. But for her to call him Kody, where and how did we get to that point? I want to, what's really sad? What's sad is how fast, I guess it wasn't fast, it was kind of in slow motion, but how it got from point A to point B. Because while she's sitting here calling him Kody, like, I don't know, 8 years ago, look at how sweet their relationship used to be.
Found myself on my knees to my God, saying thank you. What a wonderful life.
That's at Madison's wedding.
My wish that all my daughters marry righteous men.
I love Caleb. That is probably the shadiest look that I've ever seen. Maybe he had a premonition. Caleb, I need to save that screenshot, because that says everything. I mean, that is everything right there. Caleb side-eyeing Kody, that's what I need. But it was so sweet not so long ago. But now Madison's done. She's absolutely done. And Janelle spoke about it. I just want to go over, because we're trying to do the historical context of exactly what happened. So let's just listen to what Janelle said. Actually, is it that one? Hold on. Or is it? No, it's, I think, yeah, it's this one.
I don't know what to do with him. I don't know who this guy is. So she has to consider her children. She has to consider the stability of what they see or perceive as a grandfather. There's a lot of things at play here. It's not just Maddie not calling him.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely cannot blame Madison about this. And that was probably part of the problem too, because he can't just play victim. I don't know. He probably got that from who's playbook, but it's just not right. It's absolutely not right. And especially if your dad is starting to act like an absolute petulant child, we're going to have some issues, right? There's going to be issues there. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but remember when Kody refused to talk about Madison? Refused.
Let's talk about Maddie.
I won't talk about her.
You won't?
Nope.
Okay.
I know that Maddie has not had any conversations with her dad. She's not called him. She doesn't have any relationship with Robin. She's pretty much written them both off.
Whew. And yeah, pretty much going from writing them off to calling him Kody is that's a big deal. It's a big deal. She's already said before, you have to play by his rules. We're going to go over that in a second because she did an interview. I don't even want to say interview, but it was on her podcast that she's no longer a part of. But there was one episode where she was talking about, listen, I'm done playing games. I'm done playing by his rules. I'm not doing it anymore. I am setting boundaries for myself. It was a whole episode about setting boundaries. And this, I guess, is another boundary for Madison. And I don't blame her at all. You know, Robin, we've called her the empath queen. Right? Sarcastically, of course, right? Madison's the empath queen. Well, guess what? Madison is the queen of boundaries. And good for her. Good for her. He said that Kody doesn't have any respect for boundaries. You have to play by his rules, and she doesn't care to do that. And that is a mic drop moment because when someone, even your own father, is treating respect, a reciprocal respect, like it's optional, and control like it's currency, guess what, guys? That stops being a relationship. That's like becoming on dictatorship level. And Madison is not having any of it. So let's just go into this about kind of Kody getting angry with her for just expressing her feelings. This is where it all started to go downhill. All downhill. So let's listen to this.
Really deserve to be in it. So that's where it comes to cut off.
Yeah. I think there's also history at play. Like for family members, like I have no contact with some of my family. And it's because of stuff that has happened. But also I realized I could, when we were adults and talking, so like for instance, my dad would get very angry when I'm a straight shooter. You ask me a question, I'm going to tell you what I think. And he would get very angry when I'd be like, I don't know why you're surprised here. And so that was one of the reasons that I went no contact, was because it was like he didn't like a mirror being held up, or in my opinion, it was like there was a lot of anger. And he's like, that's not true. And I'm like, it is true. I know this firsthand. So, and there's other people that were the same. It was like when I would express they'd ask for my opinion, and then I would express my opinion, and they'd get angry.
You know what I call that? If someone asks for your opinion, you express it, and then they get angry. I feel like that's probably emotional gaslighting. Little bit of manipulation. And we can, define all day what a dad is, ask philosophical questions like, is it just DNA? Is it required that they send birthday texts, acknowledge your birthday? Or is it showing up, listening, and making space for your child's truth? Be it when they're in the home under 18, over 18. Is it good to hear your child's truth, accept it, and respect it? Hey, even when you disagree, even if it makes you uncomfortable, right? Because Madison here, she's trying honesty. She's trying to be, look at, oh wait, I got to see him gallivanting again. This never is him gallivanting. You guys loved my Yellowstone banter back in the day. So he is a liquid Dutton, I guess, whatever. Okay. So, but yeah, Madison tried being direct. And what did she get in return? From this man that's gallivanting that Robin thinks is so yummy and cat roars? He would get angry. He had tantrums, right? And a man who, if you put a mirror into his, just in front of him and mimic back what he's putting out, he gets offensive. He gets offended. So the translation of all of that, even though I guess he's begging his daughter for communication, is that he just wanted a performance of closeness, an appearance of closeness, not actually a connection, and not the accountability of admitting your wrongs. So Kody is being Kody. He's being defensive. He's being dismissive. He's being distant. Right? So let's just look at the facts here. Madison is telling the truth because Kody asked for it, and then he gets defensive because he doesn't like the answer. Madison holds up a mirror to Kody and says, "Hey dude, no, you're wrong. It's not true, and here's why." And Kody gets upset. Then Madison kind of pulls back to protect herself and give herself boundaries. And then Kody cries that he's being punished. Like, can she win here? This to me is textbook emotional immaturity at the very least. When someone treats your boundaries like it's a betrayal, that in itself, you guys, is a problem. That's a huge problem. So let's listen actually before we go on, because Madison has some really good points. But first, I want to talk about, let's go back to what Kody said, because this is Kody's version of events. We've heard Maddie's. Now this is coming from Kody's side. This is his perspective, at least was. I don't know what it is now because I don't think we have anything up to date. But at one point, this is what it was.
And these kids with Robin. And then I have some relationship with some of the other kids. All they have to do is answer when I call without having total contempt for me.
I'm sorry, Kody, but they might have contempt for you. You know why? Because you did some pretty messed up things. How about being humble enough to be like, you know what? I know it's uncomfortable right now. I know that you have contempt for me, and rightfully so. And I'm hoping to earn back your trust, to earn back your support of me, to earn back your approval, whatever it is, you should do it. You should do it. Right? So this whole snowstorm argument, which we could talk about in itself, that whole debacle, because I still, in my opinion, I think that this was a reshot scene. My opinion, by the way, not fact. But there's Kody with the empath queen and his favorite wife, right? And he's crying to her that they're purposefully leaving him out to punish him for a crime that neither of them committed, right, guys? So, sir, number one, this is not Dateline. Okay? And sir and madam, no one's accusing you guys of a crime. What your kids, and in this, what we're talking about right now, this live in particular, Maddie is reacting to your years of absenteeism, of emotional, if you want to call it neglect, not being there at all, selective parenting. The fact that the only thing consistent about what you're doing, sir, is you have an amazing ability to deflect, to blame, to play victim. And I think Maddie's over it. The fact that this man is sitting here and saying the only thing that he's guilty of is not falling madly in love with their mothers. Really? That's it? That's the worst that you've done. You must have gotten a playbook out of Robin 101. She must be teaching you. Like, what? So your justification, Kody, think about what you're saying. I need to see his face. We need to talk to him. Thank you, Sarah K. Sarah K says he puts rules out on it like COVID. Didn't he learn? Yeah. Once again, the demands, right, Sarah? Once again, the demands. It makes zero sense. I need to see this man's face. Hold on. Here we go. I just need to see you. Wait, hold on. Ooh, that was a scary one. Where is it? There we go. Okay, sir. Your justification, right, for being a deadbeat dad is that you didn't love their moms enough. Okay, how? Please tell me the math is not mathing. This is not making any sense. This is not a plot twist. Okay, this is your selfishness that's like, I don't know, bottled up, put in a bottle. And I don't know. I understand why Maddie is calling you Kody. She's done. You are not a dad to her. Guess what, Kody? Because you're not acting like one. How about that? Okay, names have power. Names have power. I just want to hear this again because it's just. Did you guys catch this on Sunday's episode? Did you catch her saying that or did it go right over your head? Put a 1 in the chat if you caught it. Put a 2 if it went right over your head. I want to know what you guys have to say. I want to listen to it again. There's more that we have to go over, but it's just so. It's sad to hear her say, but it's so powerful. It's such a powerful statement because it pretty much explains everything. Everything.
So with Kody, it's like, I'm angry at the way things happened, but I can control how I react and how I reciprocate. Like, so with Kody, it's like,
Whew. I wonder when he heard this. I wonder if he knew that at least some of his kids, one of his kids, maybe more than one, are calling him Kody. I feel like he would flip his lid. Because if it was already, well, I can't even imagine the way that Robin would spin this because if it was already this egregious crime that Aspen asked, hey, why don't you like me? Then a blatant title like this of having you like I'm no longer calling you dad, you are Kody. I can't even imagine. Is this the first time he's finding out or does he know about this? Did Kody find out on national television? Oh, so okay. So a lot of you guys, good. So it went right over you. Okay. Well, good. I am glad that we were able to point that out because when I was like, I wanted to do an entire episode of just all of the crazy uncomfortable things that have happened in the last episode, but I was like, this one thing, let alone there's like 100 things. We'll probably do that in the next episode. And that's what I had expected to do. But even just with this one statement, I'm like, wait a second. This warrants its own separate video just on this one awkward piece, let alone all the other awkward pieces that were there on Sunday. Oh, okay. So let's go. Let's listen to more of Madison and her reasoning behind this. I mean, it's very good what she's saying. I'm glad that she's putting up these boundaries.
I feel like there's a point where you need to figure out what your boundaries are. And there's so much noise from these family members or these friends that it's like, I need a break to figure out who I am without all this that comes with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, for sure, because I mean, I know
You can have dialogue and discourse and it's civil and they're
Right.
not getting angry or vitriol. And
What about you?
Can we just say that has not happened so far? So far, Kody, and I'm assuming that that's who she's talking about, is coming at this with, guess what, guys? Anger and vitriol. And blaming. And taking no accountability. Like, yeah, no wonder you were demoted, Kody. From dad to Kody. The guy formerly known as dad that is now known as Kody. Like, wow. Wow.
How do you know when something's toxic?
I'm still learning. I think I'm quick to be like, that's a red flag. But I think it's because of if I see personality traits of people that I have. So because of the way that I grew up, I feel like my parents exposed us to a lot of people that we shouldn't have been exposed to. And not that there was anything twisted going on, but they were just not good people. They were exploitive to my parents as well as the family. And then there's also the whole dynamic of my parents. So it's like if I start to see like personality traits that were in either those people, bad relationships in high school, or like some family members that I have had to distance myself from, I'm like, we're going to take a break. We're going to just slowly.
That's basically what's going on now. Is Madison pretty much wants to take a break. Pretty much what she's doing. She knows that he has zero respect for boundaries right now and likes to play the blame game. And I don't blame her. And Kody's even upset. I was trying to find the clip where Madison, she's like, you know what? If you can't show up in my kids' lives, like, then you don't need to be their grandfather either. So not only did she demote him from the title of dad, but also granddad, grandpa, papa, all of that and the above. So once again, Madison's like, listen, if you're doing this whole weird conspiracy theory thing and playing the victim and getting angry, I want nothing to do with you. I'm done. I'm over it. So there's a little bit more from Kody's side, which I don't know. He's starting to sound so paranoid. And we've heard it before, but like I said, in context, just putting everything together really kind of solidifies the conflict that's going on. So let's just do it to refresh your memory, okay? It's a recollection of memories. You guys know this, but just to put it into perspective, what else he said. Hold on, let me get that. And he sounds so like a conspiracy theorist. He sounds paranoid.
The kids who are mad at me get together and they're all colluding not all, but they're colluding against me.
Okay.
It's a betrayal.
Is it really, just because someone disagrees with you, is it really this big conspiracy? Or do they really have to collude? Or can they just disagree? Could they just not agree with whatever narrative that you're trying to spin, Kody? Does it have to be a betrayal and does it have to be colluding? No. No. Doesn't even make any sense. And that's probably another reason that you're pushing your daughter away from you. This is it. Hey, dude, do less of this and more of actually being a dad. And guess what? Maybe she'll call you one. Maybe you'll earn that right again. And maybe you'll be able to be in your precious grandchildren's lives eventually again. That would be nice. I also want to know, what child do you think this is? I think it might be Maddie, but then again, now I'm not sure. I want to know, listen to this in the full context because he says there's a child that's doing something in particular. He says a child. And I thought it was Maddie, but now I'm not so sure. So I want to know what you guys have to say. Listen to it and then let me know in chat what you think. Or I'm sorry, not what. Who you think he's talking about. Okay, listen to this.
I've had one of my kids just said, "You're an ass. I'm never talking to you again. You manipulated me and you brainwashed me." Some people think that parental-child relationships don't have to be reciprocal, but when they're adults, yeah, they do.
Who do you think? Who do you think that he's talking about there? At first, I thought it was At first I thought it was Madison, but then I was thinking about it and I was thinking, wait a second, that doesn't even seem like her speed. I feel like that was one of the boys. And at this time, this was before Garrison. Garrison at this point in time, in this timestamp, Garrison's alive. So it could be, I mean, it could be anyone. So this is just my speculation. I believe that it's a boy. I don't know why. I just do. I feel like it's one of the boy kids. And I think it could be either, I don't even know if Gabe would say that. Honestly, I don't think that fall, just me, my personal opinion. I feel like it doesn't fall within something that Maddie would do or Gabe. It just doesn't seem to fall in their personality. But I think either Hunter or Garrison said it. That's my guess. Or Peyton. Peyton, Garrison, or Hunter, I feel like. And Leon, I guess. Yeah. Or Leon. Yeah, it could be one of those. Megan said Garrison did say he didn't need a dad in his life. True. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know, but I was going to play, I was going to play this and I was like, I think he's talking about Madison at first. And then when I actually listened to it, let's listen to it one more time now that you have it in mind, because people are throwing out Garrison, Leon. It could be Madison. It could be Gabe. It could be Hunter. I doubt that it's, oh gosh, Logan. I don't think it's Logan. Let me tell you, yeah, so I don't think it's Logan. I don't think it's Maddie. I don't think it's Gabe. I do think that it could be Leon, Peyton, Garrison, or Hunter. Those are my 4 guesses. So let's play it again really quick with that in mind, with all the choices out there. And maybe you think it's Madison. That's fine. Or maybe you think it's Gabe. So be it. Or maybe you think it's Logan. Or maybe you think it's one of the girl children. Or I guess girl adults. But one of the girls. That's fine too. But let me know. Okay, so listen to this again. And then let me know.
I've had one of my kids just said, "You're an ass. I'm never talking to you again. You manipulated me and you brainwashed me." Some people think that parental child.
We don't need that. Yeah, you manipulated me, you brainwashed me, and I'm never talking to you again. Man, I hope that it's not Garrison. That would be horrible because if that's one of the last texts that he got before the other text, right before he passed, that would be a lot for a father to bear. That's a huge burden. So I'm hoping that it's not Garrison, but I don't know. So let me know what you think. I wonder if we'll ever know. That's what should be in the tell-all. But then again, he was very specific for a reason and said one of my kids. I feel like that's never getting out. It could have been Gail. Good point. Gail, wild card. Gail says, what if it was Dayton? I didn't even think about that. Oh, so true. But that also, to me, Dayton, if he falls in the category of not in his personality, in my opinion, I feel like Dayton falls in the Gabe, Madison, Logan spectrum. Not to say Maddie's not a Spitfire. She is. But it just doesn't seem like her speed. Like Maddie's like, I'm cutting you out, but not I'm bitching you out. In my opinion, her vibes. It seems like she would more be like, I'm done with you. Done. I'm icing you out. But not that she would like just go out and bitch you out. If that makes sense. Anyway, just my opinion. Just my opinion. So, yeah, I thought that was really interesting. And then, did I already do this one with Janelle talking about Maddie? I might have, but let's just play this just in case. Oh, wait, no. I think I did. Is this with him refusing to talk about Maddie? Hold on.
Let's talk about Maddie.
I won't talk about her.
You won't?
He's so... What a child. Can we just go... Hold up. He sounds like an absolute petulant child here.
Let's talk about Maddie.
I won't talk about her.
You won't?
Nope.
Okay.
Just the way he said it sounds like he's a 4-year-old. Like he's about to put his fingers in his ears and be like, nah, 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 I can't hear you. It's like, what a spoiled brat. And it doesn't help that he's being raised by, as a manlet, man baby by the empath queen. So here's the thing. And here's why it matters that Kody is now, that Maddie is referring to her dad as Kody now. Because, you guys, names have power. And names are power. So when Maddie stopped calling him dad, it's not just that she changed the word, right? She changed the term of the engagement. So, like, if you don't act like a father, I'm not calling you one, period. And I don't think that that's bitterness. I think that that's maturity. I think that that's clarity. I think it's good to have boundaries. I don't think, hold on, did we go over? Did we go over this one? Did we go over? Let me see if I played this one. I don't think I did. But if not, it's okay. I think that there's a point that I didn't make here if we haven't watched it. Hold on.
Well, and I think that there's this really skewed, like, well, it's blood. Like, blood is thicker than water.
No,
I'm
it's
like,
not.
dude, some people just don't deserve to be in your life.
Yeah.
And, or like, I always get messages from people who are like, you should just forgive your dad and, respect him. And I'm like, I don't think you know what you're talking about, because your experience with your dad could be very different than my experience with my dad. And you're telling me to just, he doesn't have any respect for boundaries. And so it's like, you have to play by his rules. And I just don't care to do that.
Do you struggle with confrontation?
Okay, we don't even have to go with that. That was so profound. And I think it is so important. And I gotta give it up to the girl. She's so emotionally mature. I love her level of introspection. And yeah, you just because you're family and just because you're blood, I'm sorry, but you don't get to just bust through the door and everything you get a pass for everything. It doesn't work that way. Blood or not, there needs to be a relationship there. There needs to be boundaries there. There needs to be reciprocal respect, reciprocal love, reciprocal understanding. It all has to be there, or the relationship is not going to work. And yeah, I don't like it when people say, like, yeah, you just need to forgive someone that is not beneficial in your life just because they're blood. I don't care who it is. I don't like that sentiment. I really don't. So I agree with Madison here. I think that this was such a profound statement, and it's something that we should talk about more, to be honest with you. It's not talked about. That whole blood is thicker than water thing is very antiquated, and I think it's played out. We need to come up with something better. We need to come up with a new analogy. I can't think of one right now. If you guys can, let me know. But something along these lines. So is this whole thing petty and bitter? No. Madison has clarity now. She's so strong. She has so much strength. And that is what we are watching here, is like the full sum of a woman who has done the inner work, who's seen the patterns and said, you know what? I deserve more. And this is not a pattern that's going to be repeated. This is not going to happen in my house. And this is not going to happen around my kids. And guess what? You are not going to treat me like that. And you sure as hell are not going to treat my children like this. I love it. The whole forgive your parents, I guess, for everything, and that family is everything. Yeah, that only works when everyone in your family is, acting like family. So, no, I don't think that Madison is bitter. I think she's brave. And I don't think that she's holding a grudge. You know what she's holding, guys? She's holding boundaries, which is what we should all do. So, if something like this is happening to you in your life, just know that even if people make you feel bad for it and make you feel like you're the villain, there is nothing villainous about you protecting yourself and your boundaries. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise or make you feel small or make you second guess the boundaries that you put up. If they loved you and they respected you enough, then they would love you and respect you through the boundaries that make you feel comfortable and come up with something where there's some type of mutual understanding. So, did Madison here's the question. It's kind of a rhetorical question, but still. Did Madison defather her Kody out of spite? I don't think so. I think that she defathered Kody out of self-respect, out of respect for herself, her husband, her marriage, her children, eliminating this cycle, respecting and standing up for her mom, saying should not be tolerated. And honestly, Madison ate and there were no crumbs. 0. So his whole grandpa energy, Kody, you have time to fix it, but you got a lot of work to do. And I hope that one day you can earn the title of dad again. But guess what? Madison's letting you know that is not a title that you just get because you donated. I'm trying not to get I'm trying not to get too graphic, but just because you donated parts of yourself doesn't automatically make you a parent. You need to earn that right. And if you have earned that right, you need to keep it. You know what I mean? It's a title that can be taken away from you. It really can. It can. So the only other thing is Kody. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I was about to sneeze. He's also, with one of his public meltdowns, he was upset that Maddie didn't tell him she was pregnant, I think, with her 3rd child. But we have to remember, like, if he doesn't care about the first one, why is she going to tell him about the 3rd? Evie is like, at that point, was like 3.5 years old. And according to Janelle, he still hadn't shown up. So he can like wish all of these other people cameos or, happy birthdays on Cameo. But what about his own grandchildren? Do they have to pay for a grandpa cameo in order to see him? Like, and Janelle already said, she laid it out plainly. Maddie didn't want her kids blindsided by some random dude with the crazy hair showing up like, hey, you don't know me, but I'm your grandpa Kody. And I have strong opinions and 0 consistency and adore me and worship me. Like, no. No. It's not how it works. So, that's why I said I cannot believe how much awkwardness was in this episode. Look at me blabbing away for just one comment, let alone all of the awkward itty bitty things. And I saw a lot of twos because I was asking you guys, put a 1 in the chat if you caught Maddie call her Kody, call her dad Kody, or put a 2 if it went right past you, if you didn't even notice it. And I saw a lot of 2s in the chat. There are so many awkward things, you guys, awkward, that happened on Sunday's episode. We're going to have to go over that next. But I had to dedicate like a whole stream just to this because that's how important it is. That's how significant what she said was. And I'm surprised that more people aren't making a big deal out of that because that was huge. Huge. Yes, I know they haven't gotten along, but it's one thing to not get along with your parent, and it's another thing to demote them from being your parent. You know, like it's one thing to be like, I don't really want that person in my life and I need to have my distance. And it's another thing to say, this person is Frank and like not my dad. Like that is a whole nother level that I thought should be really discussed tonight. So, yeah. Because thank goodness we can kind of get back to a little bit of the shade. Kody, you have deserved, rightfully so. You earned your position. And you've earned you've earned this video. Okay, let me just say that. You did a great job in earning it. We're going to call you out for it. Guys, stay tuned because there is so much more awkwardness. Let me know in the comment section before we do the video what you thought was awkward. Maybe I will feature it, or maybe I already know about it. Maybe there's things that I didn't pick up on, so we can kind of do a collective one and I can get it beforehand, get everything ready. So in the comment section when this is a video, let me know if what you thought was the most cringy or awkward from last week's episode. And we're going to go over all of that tomorrow. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be morning or night because my schedule is so crazy right now. So just make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure your notifications are turned on because at any time we could be going live. If you watched it to the end of this video, you are that person. You are my people. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, for watching this video all the way through, for liking the video. Thank you to all my mods. Thank you to all my subscribers, to my members. Sarah, thank you for the super chat. Oh my gosh, I got a super thanks. Hold on. I got a super thanks after the video played from, hold on. I want to thank you. Oh, dang it. I don't have it up. Okay, I'll thank you in the next one. There was a super thanks after the video. So thank you guys. Thank you for supporting. Okay, I'm going to play what Kody has earned because that's what he does. And you guys, I can't believe tomorrow's already Wednesday. What in the actual hell? Where is the time going? Well, you know what I love? We're basically hanging out together, okay? Making the week go by. So I appreciate it. Love you guys. I will see you very soon. And put your thoughts in the comment section. All right. Have a good one. Bye. Maybe not bye. I have to wait. I have to wait because this is not working. Okay, hold on. It's not pulling up. Hold on. Oh, I have to download it. I hate this stupid iCloud because sometimes it puts my videos on iCloud and then I have to re-download it. So it's downloading. It's downloading right now. Take out the trash. What the hell is that? Oh, I think that's a Mary one. Okay, I got it. Let's see. It's still downloading. I can't believe it. Hold on. Can you believe this, guys? I need to make sure that it's I can't believe it. It's still downloading on you dumb computer. I really wanted to play that. No, I am not. We are not leaving until I play that video. The hell is it? Now I can't find it. I should play Handstands for Robin instead. Handstands for Robin. That like gets in my head. That's so catchy. I can't. I start singing it after we play it. This is so good. Handstands for Robin is a good one. I still have to make it better. I do. But I'm not mad at it. I still have to improve it. Okay, I think it's ready. If you guys stayed for this,
Tell the whole world.
all right,
Tell the
hold
world.
on. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, guys, love you, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.
No, tell the whole world. Tell the world. And then go hang out with your buddy Christine.
Each describe Kody in 3 words.
Just 3.
Yes.
Deadbeat.
Okay.
Dad. Sorry, that's 2, but deadbeat dad and deadbeat.
He is selfish.
Deadbeat.
You haven't seen one of them for a year.
Deadbeat.
This is about a deadbeat dad.
You're hurting this family,
Deadbeat.
no one else. You're not loyal, just like your mother. And I was like, okay.
Why are you angry with your children? You haven't seen 2 of them for 5 months.
Deadbeat.
I'm going to move forward and find happiness and joy outside of my club.
Each describe Kody in 3 words.
Just 3.
Yes.
Deadbeat.
Okay.
Dad. Sorry, that's 2, but deadbeat dad and deadbeat.
The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with him.
Deadbeat.
You haven't seen one of them for a year.
Deadbeat.
This is about a deadbeat dad.
Deadbeat.
Why are you angry with your children?
Deadbeat.
He is selfish.
Deadbeat.
He seems to be sort of like, I don't know, like the reality is bewildering to him, kind of.
Deadbeat.
Divorced, and then the father just goes
Deadbeat.
MIA.
A deadbeat dad speaks from prison and explains the question so many people are asking: what went wrong?